say, hi, I'm the substitute friend.
You're my other friend.
It's like play school and round the square window today we have Tony coming through.
I am so sorry. And it's all because I don't know even why, but Lisa hasn't had internet since like Friday. So it's been like, so
I think it was all the singing, she just blew it. That's what it is.
She should sing less. No, she should not sing less. I did not say that. Definitely did not.
Is it recording at the moment? I'm just checking. Yes.
It is recording at the moment. But because Louisa didn't have the internet and I still wanted to have a flat white with a friend, I invited another friend, my other friend.
See, another friend that's even coming out all the time.
My other friend, the second one.
See, second again. That's it. Second again. Another. Yes.
Well, I mean,
we'll see what
I
comes
don't
out when
like
you start
hierarchy,
recording.
so I am not going to put you guys in a hierarchy.
So if you're not in a hierarchy, how come I'm second?
No, but you're usually part of a business that takes the biscuit, and today you're on flat whites.
I'm taking the biscuit anyway. Right. So we'll see
how
you
describe
describe
with
me.
Your flat white, my darling.
We'll see how you describe me when you start the program now. Right, go. No pressure.
This is
Bella,
my friend Tony.
Bella's laughing. Look.
Listen, Tony, you are referenced on Flat Whites with Friends so often.
I've heard that,
I think it's good that people finally get to see who you actually are.
Then is that not a good way of starting it? On this all the time, me and Louise are talking about someone, and yes, he isn't made up. This is the person you talk about.
This is Tony. We often talk about he's not imaginary.
Yes, and he's not a second-class friend. You don't have to
he also is not in any way, shape, or form a second-class friend.
Yes, right. We'll see what happens. Right, put you in the spot. Bella,
and this
stop
is
laughing.
Obviously Bella is along for the ride. I hope she doesn't give me too much acupuncture this particular episode, but. And I think it's fun that you are here today because we are talking about how we talk. What did I say? We're going to talk about
people.
Elevating other people. That was the word I couldn't find anymore. And you are very good at this. You have said stuff about me that sometimes when I have a day where I'm like, well, I'm a piece of shit. And I sometimes have those days. I'll go like, oh, I'm a piece of shit. And I'll go like, read something that Tony wrote about you. And then I'm like, oh, right, I'm not a piece of shit. I have skills. I know things. And I think, part of what we do within the sort of setting up shop team that you are part of with me and Louisa is that we really try and lift people and each other up. I think that's core to all three of us as, something that we find important.
Yeah. And I think elevate is always a strange word for me because in business we talk about elevator pitches, but that's just to say what you do. Elevating someone to me is always looking to find out what is the strengths in the person, what is it amazing about them, because as individuals, most individuals anyway, we don't see those traits ourselves.
No.
They're only seen through other people's eyes. We might think sometimes I'm good at this or I'm good at that, but until someone else validates that and says that, we don't always believe it in ourselves. We need to hear something like that from other people. And I think it's such an important thing. Part of life is to be able to do that for someone and to let them hear that side of it that they don't always get, maybe the compliments that are on. Because inside their own heads, we spend more time being negative than we do being positive about ourselves.
Yeah, but also I think sometimes like the things that make us who we are come so naturally to us and are so like, duh, of course this is, and we just assume that everybody thinks like this and everybody shows up like this, but that is obviously not true because, sorry, that was the acupuncture starting. Can we just make a choice? Can we either sit or not sit? Thank you. And I think that having people around you who not just who reflect that back at you, but also who encourage you to explore that and to lean into those strengths. Because I also think that a lot of times how we think about how we should show up in life, and when you say the word should, that immediately flags something, right? But but we are so trained that we should overcome our weaknesses, and we should, and there's something so depressing about that, where we're like, well, I'm really good at this, so I should address this thing that I'm not so good at, because I need to also be good at this, because we have to be good at everything. And it's such a waste, because the things that we're good at are joyous and come easy to us, and we can really excel at them, and we can bring something so profoundly unique into the world. But then we're kind of wasting all of that lovely, warm stuff by saying like, oh, but I ought to be better at this. I should be able to work within this structure or within this way of working. And then we just kind of lose the spark, and we lose what makes us special and magical, right?
And I think you've got a real good point. The spark for a lot of people, especially getting into business and that as well, is that feeling you got when you went to start something that you're going to achieve, this great thing you're going to do. But too many small business owners turn the business into a job. Instead of working for someone else, they actually work for themselves. And I asked them to ask a question. If you were another person doing that, would you work for that boss? And that boss is you. And they're like, well, no, probably not. So why are you doing it? Right? Because that's not who you are. But you become this because you get these expectations. You said that you think, I need to be able to do this, this, or this. And no, you go into business because there is some skill, some sort of thing that you've got that other people do not have. And that's the bit that gives you the spark, is understanding. And that's the bit I try, that word I say, try not to say, I've just done it.
I am not allowed to say it.
Yes, but I can say it because I'm the one who made the rule up.
Because you're the boss. Yeah, yes. Okay, go on.
And I want people to actually feel that spark all the time. I see too many business owners who lose it. And then when we go to try and find it back, it's somewhere so deep inside them because they've put all this other emotion around it, because they feel as though I'm a failure because I can't do this one thing. And always as simple, and I love the question, is, and you said, everybody thinks I fail. Okay, who's everybody? Right, well, most people. Who's most people? Some people. Who's some? Well, one person. And who's that one person in particular? Me. Yes, it's always us. We're the one that does it. So if we're the one that bring ourselves down, then I feel that it's up to me to help bring that side, the other bits back up. Let them see the parts of themselves that they're sort of forgetting about because they're so focused on this one negative thing. I use an analogy. You've heard this before, but I don't know the real one of it because it seems to have transformed, or I hear people saying it, but it's Albert Einstein, meant to be in a college teaching people. And he turns his back, starts writing on a board, and he writes the 9 times table. 919, 218, 27, 36. He does all that, goes down. 90, he gets to there, so 90, instead of 90, he puts 91, 99, 108. And he puts the chalk down and turns around, and you can hear this laughter. And he said, what's funny? And one of the students were looking at each other, one went, well, you got one wrong. Did I? And he looked at him and went, what's wrong? And he went, oh, 9 tens are 90, not 91. I went, yeah. What happened to the 11 I got right? And everybody goes silent. Because all they focused on, he got one thing wrong. But 11 things that were so great, he got right then. Nobody focuses on it. And that's what we do as individuals. That's the bit that I look to do, is to find those other 11 things that people have got that can lift them, to elevate them up, to say they can see themselves what other people see then. All those great things, not that one thing to focus on, which is, if you spend all the energy doing that, you don't have the energy for that spark.
Yeah, because we're just so focused on trying to fix that one thing that maybe we're not so good at, or that where we made a mistake. And we're human beings, we're going to make mistakes. And I'm really good at saying that to other people, where I'm like, no, it's fine. Like, we all make mistakes, but when I make mistakes, I'm not so nice about
it. But that's natural. That is normal. It's not different. We think that nobody else feels that way except us when we do it.
Oh, no, I know that everybody feels
that. But everybody does it at times. It's just we all have different ways of, I suppose, showing it to other people, but also how we deal with it. And I think that's the big thing for me, because people don't actually deal with it. They cope. They find ways to cope all the time, but they don't deal with the issue that causes it. And some simple can be, if you're not good at that, get help from somebody who is. Why spend all your energy and time on something that you're not really good at? Why do you want to be great at that when you're taking all that time and energy away from all those amazing things that people are out there? And that's a simple question. is if you spend all your time doing that and they're doing it, how many people are not getting the help they really need or moving forward with their lives because you're not there to help them? Whether it's a service, whether it's a product, or whatever it is, you think what you give, those people need. But as long as you focus on that one negative thing all the time, they're all losing out on that. So is that no greater thing to help so many people there than just improve one thing for you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's such a lovely way of looking at it as well, right? Like, but and I think what I've really experienced as being so great about being in this collaborative sphere with you and Louisa is that we all we all bring something very different to the table.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't step on my keyboard, Bella. We all bring something very different to the table, but importantly as well, in the way that we all show up, we've also helped each other become better at certain things because, the little bit of inspiration or the little bit of help has sort of reframed some of the things that maybe we felt stuck in or we felt or that we struggled with, right? Like we've provided clarity for each other, not just around, oh, this is what you're good at, which is great. But we've also, the things where we were like, oh, I'm not really great at that. The other people were like, oh, but have you tried to approach it from this angle? Because then maybe, then you're leaning into your talents while addressing this thing that you find more difficult. And so I often say, like, it's hard to be creative in a vacuum, but it's not just that, right? Like we need input from other people in order to sort of develop and grow and find new ways of tackling things. And there isn't one way. Like this is what we talk about constantly in our setting up shop, in the setting up shop context, is like there isn't one way to do it. There is so many ways to do it, and find the ways. And if they don't exist yet, create the ways to do it so that it empowers you rather than makes you feel restricted.
But I think all that's true, but there's also something else about the relationship we have with the three of us, and it's the one thing I think for a lot of business owners is difficult or it's missing is having that help personally, not just with the business, but if it improves how we are as individuals, it improves how we are as a business. So if any of us needs help on any subject, we know that if we know something about it, we'll help each other. And I think that's where, for me, the frustration happens a lot with business is people talk as if the business and the person are two separate things, but they're not. Their identity is together because the business, when especially solopreneurs setting up, their identity is within that business, whether they realize it or not. Because that we all talk about the personal branding or branding of the business, but that individual needs that help, sometimes that other input. And I think that's a big thing that's so important is having people run about you that you can just talk to, go to anything. And you might realize that the issue you think you've got is not that big. And actually then you can take that into the business side of it and actually improve this. Maybe that's what gives you the suggestion to realize I don't need to be able to do everything. What I need to know is I've got people run about me that can help me if I don't know how to do something. That's an important part.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And I like what you're saying as well. Like it's not two separate identities. No. I recently sort of stumbled upon writing a personal mission. Just like this is how I want to show up in the world. This is what I want to bring, the impact that I want to have. And I thought, oh, my business fits into that. It's not the whole thing. It fits into that. It contributes to that mission. And so like, and that just made it so tangibly part of who I am as a person and how, and it's one of the ways in which I create that impact, but it's not all of the ways because there's other aspects to my life as well. Luckily, I don't only work anymore.
Yeah, and that's
especially not during annual leave.
No, you would never do that because somebody called Tony, would come and get you for doing that. Yes, yeah, that wouldn't be allowed. Not that he'd ever do that either. No, he wouldn't do that because he tells other people not to do it.
Exactly.
But, we're not very good at actually. we're very good at telling other people how to do things, but not always taking their own advice. And I think that's why having people around about you can be such an important part as accountability as well.
I know. I also love it when the people around me quote myself at me. That is my favorite thing to happen.
Actually, that happens quite a bit the other way around as well, because one of the things that I do always say about you when I'm talking to other people, if I describe Mags, I say, she's the person that finds the nuggets that you don't even know is in the mind of yourself. And the mind I mean is when we think of gold, or you think of diamonds, that you think of gold mines, diamond mines, and that. We've got a mind which is all, not mind, but a mind which is all these amazing things about us, the traits, the talents, everything that we've got, but we don't always know it. But you've got this habit of we can say something and go, oh, that's good. And you take it away and go, I don't even remember saying that. And you'll put it down and say that. And you come out and went, and it was like little snippets you'll put out of things we're setting up shop. And you put out there, so, and this little advert thing, and it's my voice saying something. I'm sitting going, where did I come up with that from? I don't even remember doing it. But you spot these things. That's a talent, and being able to do that. And I think that's what other people don't realize as well, is that they have those kind of gifts. And someone will notice that. If you allow yourself just to be yourself.
See, I hear the things that you say that you don't realize you're saying. You hear the things I'm not saying.
Yes, well, that's my talent.
Exactly. Yes. So you hear the voids, and you're like, why are you not articulating that?
Yeah, I ask people that question, a lot, is what is it you're not telling me? Because I know I have a sense then of picking it up people, and I know that is, and there's nothing. And it's amazing you just sit and stare, isn't it? And go quiet and stare, and they eventually go, well, and it comes out and, well, actually, what's the little noise you make when I do that to you? Yes, it's wee noise comes out. But that's what people do. They go, stop looking at me like that. Stop doing it. I went, I'm not doing it. I'm just, that's quite interesting. What is? That's interesting. They go, what, the bit you're not told me there, but that's quite good. I'll come back to that. It was someone that trained me in Neurological Program in Brancastello. Used to always do that when we're doing a session. Somebody would say, and they go, that's interesting, but I'll come back to that later. And they're sitting, what is it I said? What did I do? But it's not, it's probably what they don't say. And that's what I realised is that's the bit that I do, is pick up the things that people do not tell me and fill the gap. I say a lot, my job is to fill the gaps between the silences. And it's because there's a gap there where they're thinking of something, and then they go, actually, I'm not going to tell them that, so I'll just come up with some. But they don't realise certain ways you look or how you use your eyes tell me that you're making something up rather than actually have a fact that you're telling me. So when people do that, I go, this is great.
And also, I just want to say, when people are feeling bad right now, we don't always actively are aware that we're making this up because we're avoiding something. So I just want to say, like, this is just something that we do as humans.
Yes, it's when we do this, it's a self mechanism that allows us to be protected, to be safe. Yeah. That's all your mind does. Your mind does everything to keep you safe. That's its first priority. And a lot of time, it's not doing this thing that you think so bad. The reason it's not doing it is saying, well, if you're not really good at it, I don't want to spend time doing that. So I'll not let you do it. I'll let you go and do these other things. And that's trying to tell you that you don't have to do it.
And so having someone who can sort of point this out to you, and it doesn't have to be Tony, but it could be Tony.
No.
But having other people around you who can sort of spot these patterns and spot that you're doing that can then help that become conscious, and then you can make different choices. And then you elevate yourself with the help of others.
But also you elevate other people.
Yes.
That's what we've just talked about there, is I do a certain thing that does what you do it with me. So what we've really done is elevated each other.
Yeah.
That's the important part. And anything you do in life, whether it's personal or business, look for the bits that you can elevate other people on, not just elevating yourself.
No. We rise by lifting each other, right?
Well done. That's the perfect way for this.